Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's the people that could cause your downfall. You could be doing everything right, everything perfect, everything good, showing the signs and wonders of God, and the people could cause you to miss it. Be careful. Be careful. You always want to be careful you make your promise. I will not let nobody deter me from getting into heaven. Right. I will let nobody deter me from getting into the glory of God. Right. I will not let nobody deter me to be somebody in ministry. Nobody. This is the attitude we got to have as children of God. I don't care what they do to me. I'm going to make it in. I don't care how they talk to me. I'm going to make it in. I don't care how they scandalize my name. I'm going to make it in. And I'm going to follow every instruction of God. If he say tap, I'm going to tap. Right. I'm not going to get mad and hit. Right. If he say pray, I'm going to pray. I'm not going to get mad and say forget about it. I prayed yesterday. Because they will cause you to get out of order with God. That's how you know you get out of order with God. Because they make you not want to pray for them. Because they keep sinning. So you say, I ain't going to pray for them no more. Because they keep doing the same old sin. Why should I pray? You just lost. You lost. Because you stopped praying. You lost. The person that's doing the same sin did not lose. You refusing to pray for that person caused you to lose. Because you refuse to pray for the ungodly. That caused you not to get in to the garden. You remember what God said? You limit the holy head of Israel. You tie my hands. You people tie my hands. You know what I learned? You are your worst enemy. Because you let people dictate your success. I will not let that happen no more. I don't care if I got to sleep in a cardboard box. I'm still going to get into heaven. I will not compromise. I will not sell nothing to get into the kingdom of God. It's not going to happen. And people don't like that, but that's the true reality of it all. Watch your surroundings. We was watching a movie the other night. What was the name of the movie? Oh, it was, I can say it because everybody knew it. I'm not promoting the movie. I'm just saying I like the movie. Fearless it was. Fearless, right? That was a beautiful movie. Because see, you gotta watch it. And it was with Jet Li. God bless him. He had so many people around him because of how he could fight and how good he was and how beautiful he was. But the same people that was around him was the one that caused him to get his whole family destroyed. And his best friend said, you gotta be careful that the people are not with you like you think they are. You gotta watch your people, even though they be with you everywhere you go, praising you and giving you the glory. You can do everything, but when push comes to shove, they stab you in the back. And then the man came back and said, it was my fault. I didn't tell you the whole story. So he went out there and destroyed the other person, thinking what he thought. But then the guy told him the truth and he destroyed the person for no reason. And then his whole family got slaughtered. His whole family got killed because of his people or somebody. You got to watch people around you. That's why I say, God, give me discernment, give me wisdom, and keep it always on. That's right. I don't want it off. I want it when I'm sleeping. I want to discern the spirits that come in my head when I'm sleeping. I want to discern the spirits around my bed. I want to discern what's going on outside of my body. Jesus. This is the kind of prayer we need to have. I want to pray what's going on outside of my body while I'm sleeping. I want to know. You need to know. Have so many people with so many people around them and get destroyed. Moses lost it because of that. And Moses and the people murmured against Moses, saying, what shall we drink? People murmured against glory of God. saying, what do they think they doing? People murmured against Pastor Bridgeport. He think he know it all. People murmured against the members of the ministry. People murmured about the people that got licenses and ordinations here. People murmured who he think he is. If I would have listened to people, I would be in 6 feet under. But I listen to God. And then for those naysayers, every ordination I have given out in the umpteen power of God was by God. Was not nothing bought. Was not nothing swindled. Was not nothing made behind closed doors. It was all done by the umpteen power of God. God said it's time. I got time. Yeah, good. We still in Sunday school. Sometimes God will send people places to get something that He wants them to get, and they so blind that they can't use discernment to know God said give it to them. So they God got to send them to somebody that's outside of the box. Somebody that can see what God is really doing. Somebody that can see that God is elevating and ordaining people. So somebody asked me, do you feel shame that you did so and so for so and so and they no longer with you? I said no. Because God did it. They go up against God, not me. I'm just a vessel of God to do what God said do in the natural as well as the spiritual. But God will deal with them. God will deal with every enemy, every foe. Remember, the battle is not yours, it's the Lord's. I cannot worry about people because I will miss the mark. If I worry about everybody else, I will miss what God has for me. And that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I command that not to happen. And the people murmured against Moses, saying, what shall we drink? And he cried. Ain't that something? This is another facet of Revelation. For some reason, Moses wasn't thirsty. My Lord. My Lord, catch that. Does it say Moses was thirsty here? It said, and when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the water of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore the name of it was called Marah. And the people murmured against Moses, saying, what shall we drink? They didn't even say, what will Moses drink? They were selfish. What shall we drink? Not what shall Moses drink or what shall the people drink. What shall we drink? That's that I syndrome. A bunch of knuckleheads going behind somebody's back trying to cause fight. That's what it was. Probably some Judas in there. Some Judas in the camp. Come here, y'all. Let's talk. You know how I know it was? Because in order for them to make that golden calf, there was some Jews in there saying, we don't got to wait for Moses. Let's do it. And they all get it. And that same person was the one that was starting this water fight. Started the water fight, and now he started the other fight. Always somebody that you are not paying attention to. And it could be somebody close to you. And, oh my God, I'm going to say one more thing. Miriam, the prophetess, even though she was highly favored and was a prophetess, she still went up against her own leadership. So you can't sleep on nobody. Aaron and Miriam, they got leprosy, right? Why? Because they talked about Moses doing right, and she was a prophetess, right? So she still could get leprosy. And she was the prophetess to Moses, but still talking about Moses. And she was his relative. You got to be careful about your inner circle. Let God do the work, but be careful. Not everybody is with you because they next to you. Those that barely come, but once in a while, are those that are with you. But you look at those that are always with you and close to you to be the one. And it's those that very rarely visit are the one. But you too blind to know that. Why? Because the God of this world has blinded the minds of those that are not right. And he cried unto the Lord, and the Lord showed him a tree, which when he has cast into the waters were made sweet. Ain't that so? And he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them. And said, if thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and will do that which is right in the sight, and will give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee which I have brought upon Egyptians, for I am the Lord that healeth thee. Look at that. I am the Lord that healeth thee. Your healing is in God, not in Pastor Bridgeforth. Your healing is in God, not in your husband or your boyfriend. Your healing is in God and in your lifestyle. In order for you to get healed, delivered, and set free, you got to know who is the healer. For one thing, like those that go to the hospital, you got to know who is the doctor. You can't just go to the person in the chair and say, operate on me. That's the same thing with your healing. You got to know who is those that can give the healing, which is God. So you need to go to God and get your healing. I am the Lord that healeth thee. Why are you going to everything but the Lord?
That's right.
I am the Lord that healeth thee, but you go everywhere else but to the Lord, and He's the one that heal you. That's what He said. I am the Lord that healeth thee. I am the Lord that brought you out of Egypt. I am the Lord that healeth thee. We all came from them out of Egypt. We all were in bondage. Egypt is still in turmoil. I used to pray to the Lord, why is so much suffering and so much tragedy going on in Egypt and Africa and them places? He said because of the things they did hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, that He cannot turn back on His word. So if God said, because of your sin and your iniquity, there shall not be no fertile ground in here, it will not be no fertile ground no more. So in other words, no more food and grain will grow. Your crops will wither away. If the Lord says your crops will wither away because of the way you live or the way you did, it will never grow again. It's in the Bible. He cursed so many lands, and they became poverty, and He cannot undo what is done. I am the Lord that changeth not. That's why you got to be careful what you do, because repercussions come to your generation later. And that's why that generation is dealing with it now, when they didn't even have nothing to do with that sin. But because He dried up their book and said, like Jesus did with that fig tree. That fig tree will never bear figs again. Never. No matter how much it's grown, no matter how much you want, it will never bear figs again, because He cursed it. And that's what happens when things don't go right. He cursed that land. That land will always be cursed. So that's why there's so much poverty. It's not because the people don't know how to do it. It's because that's what happened. Your forefathers caused confusion in the Lord, and it happened. It's done. He can't change it. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. It's gone. Because if He changed that, then He could change Lot's wife back from a pillar of salt. See, if He start changing stuff, then He got to change everything. Now, He's not going to change Lot's wife back from a pillar of salt, so He's not going to change back the dry land that he cursed. So it used to be fertile. Fertile means flourishing, bringing forth fruit. Now it's not fertile, bringing forth no fruit. Why? Because they got cursed. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So no matter what we do, it will still not grow. There's some places in certain countries, no matter how much you plant, it won't grow. It won't grow. You can tear the ground all you want, plant the best seed get the best soil, and it won't grow. Why? Because he said nothing will grow in there no more. You can cut down that fig tree from the root and plant a new fig tree, and it still won't grow figs because he cursed it. He ain't changing his statue. He will not change his statue. Once it happened, it happened. So he said, be careful what you do, because the repercussions is detrimental to your whole family.
That's right.
There's some people he just destroyed because of their sin. Because of the things they did that wasn't right. Gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. And they came to Elim, where were 12 wells of water, and 3 spores, and 10 palm trees. And they encamped there by the waters. So they came to Elim, where were 12 wells. 12 represents the tribe of Judah. 12 represents the tribes of Israel. Of water, and 3 spores, which is 60.
Okay.
A spore is 20, so that's 60, and 10, so that's 70 palm trees. 70 palm trees. And they encamped there by the waters. And then you notice they wanted water. God just gave them an abundance of water where they could sleep and camp, and there's so much water. But remember what happened. I'm not going to finish up anymore. I'm going to stop here. But remember in chapter 16, there's another one that's so important to realize. It's called the wilderness of sin. Now they were talking about water. And then in chapter 16, they're going to be talking about food. I mean, what more do you want? They just complain and complain and complain. And then God gave them so much food that they killed themselves. They died. They overate. They overate and died. We will make you so hungry that you will eat till you blow up. Because of their nonsense. And Moses, the only one that had to say, Lord, they don't know. They don't know no better. But then again, sometimes they do know better. They just want to act stupid. And that's how some church folks is. They know better. They know they're supposed to come on Sunday to service, but they want to act up and see if you call them and get angry. They know they're supposed to come to Sunday school, but they want to act up and see if you get angry. People are something. But you got to remember, God loves everybody. And he has not changed his love. He has not changed his ordinances. The only thing he said was all of my ordinances is wrapped up in one commandment, that you love your neighbor as I love yourself.
That's right.
All the laws are hanging on that one commandment, love. He didn't say he got rid of it. He just said it's all in love. So if you love, you won't commit adultery. If you love, you won't kill, you won't steal. If you love, you won't kill. If you love, you won't bear false witness. If you love, you won't do none of those commandments that you're not supposed to do. Because love covers a multitude of sins.
That's right.
And once I learned that, I started loving everybody. So I got multitudes over multitudes covered. You can use that to your advantage. If love covered a multitude of sins and I got 5 multitudes of sins, I'm going to love 5 more. 5 or more, and that's all the multitudes are covered. Love covers all of it. Remember that. Greater love has no man than this, that he poured out his life for his friends. We are his friends. We are no longer servants. We are friends of God. And if we are friends of God, we need to act like it. We can't act like it and be friends with the enemy. Friends with the sinner man. Friends with the evil people. You got to be friends of God. If you're friends of God, you got to be God-like. You got to do God things. You got to say God words. Trust in the Lord with all our heart, and lean not to our own understanding. In all our ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. You got to acknowledge God in all your ways. I got so bad, I even acknowledged him when I was sinning. I acknowledged God in all my ways. I said, okay, well, I'm messing up. I'm acknowledging him anyway. I acknowledge him, Lord, forgive me, but I'm acknowledging you. I know I messed up, and I'm still a work in progress. But I'm acknowledging you in my mess. Acknowledge God in your shortcomings. He just wants to be acknowledged. He wants you to know that he sees all things. So don't try to hide nothing. Wherever you mess up at, let him fix it.
Amen.
That's our Sunday school lesson. God bless you.
Amen.
Whew.